Hi, what's up guys? Welcome to this great tutorial where you'll be learning how to create an animative sidebar. Alright, so I want to seriously apologize. I've not been online for a while. This is because I have some problem sets that I've been putting my head down to work on. So in this video, we're going to work on an animative sidebar like I said. Let me quickly show you and explain. So this is a single web page, and the single web page is just carrying this hamburger. And what do you think this hamburger does? If you click on it, you discover that a menu with an icon carrying a logo just slides from left to right. If you are facing the computer or the system right now, it just slides from left to right. I guess you might have seen this in some websites or applications like Facebook and YouTube. So this is kind of like what we're going to do today. We're going to clone this. So you see, this is just simple. We're going to work on this, and we're going to use just simple HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, nothing more. No external libraries, no Bootstrap, no jQuery. Alright, so let's go to the text editor. The prerequisites for this tutorial is just a simple text editor. In this case, I'm using the Visual Studio Code. You can also use any text editor, even the Notepad, Sublime Text, they really work very fine. So what we're just having here, an empty HTML file, an empty JavaScript file, and an empty CSS file. And we have an image folder. This image folder is containing two images, the background image and the logo. Alright, so let's go into the index.html file and write some code. So here we're going to write our markup. So what we'll simply do here is, first of all, let me have this as my normal convention, or let me say this bare bones structure of the HTML tag. I believe I don't need to explain this again. So I'm going to give this a title, animative sidebar. Okay, I think they should be together. Then I'll have my CSS linked here as style.css, and the last thing to link here is my JavaScript file, the script tag. So I'll just have script, and inside there I'll do src script. I think we named this script.js rather. So the reason why I placed it beneath the HTML tag, that is just before the body tag, is because this is the normal convention. This is the best way to link your JavaScript file to make your web browser load faster. I think I've been practicing that for a very long time now, and it's really working. You can do that. I give you that habit. Alright, so now what we'll do now is to have a div tag, and this div tag is going to carry an ID called background. Remember, sorry, I'm using init, and that's why I'm just writing this. So init to just help me to autofill some things. So okay, let me bring this up, and this is going to wrap everything. The background tag is going to wrap everything that I need. So I'll have another div tag. It's going to carry an ID called sidebar, and this sidebar is going to hold the major things that are going to be on the left hand side. This is the sidebar. It will carry everything that will slide from left to right. What we're having there first is a logo, this logo. So we'll bring that logo there now. The logo will be a link, index.html, and I'll have my image tag here, and the source is going to be, I think, inside the image folder / logo.png, and I'll give this an ID also. So I'm going to give this an ID called logo because we're going to work on it on the CSS. So once we save this now, we come back here. Okay, sorry, this is our own main project we're working on. So if we refresh this, we're having this. Wow, I think the logo just occupied everything, the entire web page. So don't worry, we'll work on it. So the next thing we'll do now is I'll have another div tag, and this div tag will carry a class called toggleMe. And this toggleMe will hold the span that will represent the hamburger. I'm referring to this. You see, this is the hamburger. So we're going to use 4 span tag. I'll have this, an empty span tag rather, span tag, and the last one, span tag. So I think we're done here. So once we save this now, let's see what we're having on our project. Okay, this logo will not allow me to see it. So what I'll quickly do is, since I'm not making use of this logo now, I think I'm not going to work on this logo now. I'll just comment on this. The next thing we'll do now is to have our entire links. So I'll have the link inside and on other list 1. Since there are 7 in number, I'll just paste everything think it's 7 already. Okay, so what are their names? We have home, profile, friends, chat room, photos, videos, edit. So let's quickly do that. We're done with the map up. If I save this and let's see what we're having on the web browser. So we're having this is good to go. All right, I think that's all we need for the HTML. Normally the first thing I like doing is to have my name here as the author of the CSS. You can do that for yourself. So the first we have called the global from properties, and this is just to remove all the default margins, paddings that the web browser have already given to the web pages you're creating. So I'll remove the default margin by making it 0. I'll remove the default padding by assigning 0 to it, and I'll have a font family sans serif. I think this is very common. What I've done here is, since I've selected the global property, by giving it the font family sans serif, it will just take over all the text that are going to be inside the web page. So let's have our background here by calling the background ID. Remember this background ID. So here we are going to have all our background. Our background is going to cover the entire web page, and that's why we have to wrap the background ID around the entire web page. On the background, the first thing we will do is to invite our background here by doing the background image and URL, and inside the image folder, and we have it to be bg.png. So we have the background here. Let's see this. Okay, so we're having this right. Let's work on it. I'll make the position to be fixed. At least, since we're not going to work with, we're not going to deal with the responsive aspect. Top 0 from the right, 0, a minimum height of 100, a minimum height of 100% also, and then I'll have a height, auto, width, auto. This is very important, the Z index. The Z index, just make it to stay at the top. I'll make it 1. Overflow, I'll make it hidden. Then the background position, you're going to do this with me. Background position, you just give the property center. We're done with that. And the background size, cover, to cover the entire web page. All right, so let's see what we're having. All right, so I think we have our background set and we're good to go. So let's work on the logo. So before I work on the logo, I think what I'll simply do is to uncomment this. I think you will not have to disrupt us again. So let's quickly work on the logo. For the logo, what I'll simply do here, I'll target it by targeting the ID logo. Then we'll just give it a maximum weight of 200 pixels. So we're going to work with it. So it's set. I think that's just the simple thing we have to do there. So the next thing we're going to do is to work on the sidebar. This is the most interesting aspect. So on the sidebar, we have the position to be fixed. So we want the sidebar to be fixed, just like we have here. This is fixed. You understand? It doesn't have to move to this side or anywhere. So it's a fixed position. Then we'll give it a width. The width I'll give it now is, let me say, 200. And that 200 pixels is very important. I'll explain later. So a height 100%. So the background, I'll give this a background of #151719, and we're good to go. Let me see what we're having here. Okay, I think this is what we're having. Okay, so let's style the text inside the sidebar. So to do that, I'll simply introduce the sidebar again, and I'll locate it by going to the unordered list and targeting the list. So here what we'll do now is I'll first of all give that a color, a light color, by using the RBGA style of coloring. So I'll do 230 for the green, I'll do 230 for the blue, I'll do 230, and for the transparency I'll make it 0.9. So let's save this and see what we're having. Okay, cool. I think the color have changed. All right, let's keep up. So I'll remove the default bullet by doing list style none. I'll assign the property none. Then the padding between them, I'll do 15 pixel top bottom and 10 pixel left and right. Then I'll finally give this the border button. I think I have to work there. One bezel, solid RBGA also 100. I'll give it 100. The green 100, the blue 100, and the transparency I'll make it 0.3. So let's quickly save this and see what we're having. Oh, this is cool. Now you see the web page. The sidebar is a little bit pretty. It's even pretty. So you see we are having a border bottom that is light, you see, beneath each of the menus. You see, it's very nice. And the padding is 15 pixel top bottom and 10 pixel left and right. Alright, I will still work with the sidebar, and the sidebar I'll work with the toggle button. Work with that. I'm referring to this. On our HTML we have toggle class, so I'm going to work with this, and you know this is carrying the spam, so we're going to work with that. So for this, what I'll simply do is I'll give this a position absolute. Then the next thing we will have to do is to move it from the left side 230 pixel a bit, and from the top 20 pixel. I think we're done with that. Okay, it's not actually showing yet the hamburger, we're just trying to decorate it. So let's keep working. So the sidebar, I'll target sidebar dot toggle button slash spam. So in here we'll have to give it the properties. So display block, the spam will be separated from each other, and we'll give it a width. The width I'm going to give it now is 30 pixel. I'll give it the height of 5 pixel, and background, I think we should use this 151719. Okay, let's save this and see what we're having. Okay, this is not coming up. What's happening? Okay, I'm coming. I think there's an error. Oh my god, I think I've seen the error. Look, I'm supposed to give this an hash. Sorry for that. I'm very sorry. I hope you didn't make that mistake with me. Okay, I'm supposed to drop that hash. This is the way to invite ID into your CSS. So just quickly do that. I'm sorry for that. So if you do that, you will have this pop-up, this simple hamburger, but you see there's an error here. This is not right. There should be a gap in between the spam, you understand? So we'll just give this a margin of 3 pixel top bottom and 0 pixel left right. And then if we save this now, we should have this. Nice. Okay, so let's quickly give this a border radius to make it look like a real hamburger. So 5 pixel, and we have this. Okay, this is sweet. So I think we're done with this part. The next thing we're supposed to do now is, first of all, let's check this. We have this, but if I click on this, nothing is responding. Now this is where JavaScript comes in and some little tricks that you have to do. And you know this, if you check the main one we've done already, the demo, you see that it's working very nice. So what do you think we have to do here? Alright, so let's go back and I'll show you this. So the little trick we have to do here, first of all, we have to try to make the sidebar go completely to the left side by minus 200 pixel. So for now, the width of this sidebar is 200. So we'll try to get it back by minus 200. If you subtract 200 from 200, what you have? You have 0. So we're taking it back. So we'll give this a default from the left, minus 200 pixel. And once we do this, we discover that this sidebar has entirely gone to the left. It has been hidden. So we have to click this before it comes out. So what we'll now do now is we'll now have a sidebar tag, and we'll add a class property to it. So I'll have sidebar dot active. So while it is active, we want this to come back from left to 0 pixel. So for now, you know that minus 200 is lesser than 0. So once something goes to minus 200, if it's coming back, it will come back to 0, right? So it will come back to 0 pixel. That's what we've simply done here. But if we go back now, we'll click on this, it will not work. JavaScript event needs to work on this. So we'll go back to our HTML, and right on the toggle button, we'll give this a click event. So say on clicking this, something should happen. It should call a function called something like toggle me, and we'll go to our JavaScript, then we'll define that function. So have this on the JavaScript, and inside the toggle me, go to document dot get element by an ID. And which ID are we trying to get here? We're trying to get the sidebar or ID that is currently the class list called active. So what are we going to do to this when it's active? We'll just toggle this. That's just the simplest explanation I can give there. So let's save this and come back, refresh the page and see. If I click on this, this will just pop out. You understand? It will just pop out, but it's not in an animative way or in a slow motion way. So we'll have to do one thing there. But first, there's an error here. This tag is supposed to be closed. So let me close this tag. Sorry, because there are four spam tags there. So if I click on this, it will just pop out. You understand? So what we'll do now is to make this in a transition manner. So what we'll do now is we'll go back to the sidebar, and what we'll simply do on the sidebar here is to give this a transition property. So transition, and we want all of them to move with a delay of 500 milliseconds, and the property linear. So it's going to move in a linear direction. That's on a straight file. All of the content in the sidebar will move in a linear direction with a delay of 500 milliseconds. You can change this to 600, 1000 or whatever. So let's save this and see what we're having. So if I click on this, you see it's now animative. So this is it, guys. We have probably achieved what I showed you guys in the beginning of the tutorial. So one good thing about this, we didn't use anything like Bootstrap, we didn't use jQuery, we just use JavaScript, CSS and HTML. So with this, we have come to the end of this tutorial. If you really learned something from this video, you can click on that like button below. And don't forget to subscribe, please. I need a subscription that will keep me going. And thank you guys once again. Till next time.